Thank you. You are welcome back. If I begin to continue in the breaking down of this Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 to 66, we will not live here today. But let me just tell you what is the conclusion of that Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 60. Verse 15 to 66. After the last one I mentioned, which I said, which means becoming a wanderer. You will not become a wanderer in your life, in the name of Jesus. When you read it on, another thing that reflects in couples of verses in a lack of satisfaction. Lack of satisfaction. The Bible says you will eat, you will not be satisfied. There are couples of verses, like almost 10 verses, almost 6 verses put together, names lack of. You will be eating, you will be walking, you will not be satisfied. Then when you put some verses together again, you see backwardness there. There, for instance, it said, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. Some verses, like about 5 verses put together, there we see backwardness. Your life will not move backward. In case if you have been moving backward, I pray for you in the name of Jesus. The Lord will turn the tide for you in the name of Jesus. When you put other verses together again, then you see high level of slavery. High level of slavery, at least about 7 or 8 verses put together. For instance, he said, and it shall beseech thee in all thy gates, until thy high and first wall come down, when it thou trusted throughout all the land, and it shall beseech thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land. That is high level of slavery. You will be in slavery. You will not be in slavery in Jesus' name. But listen, amen is not enough. What is enough now is for you to change your mind now and ready to obey God, either as an unbeliever or believer. An unbeliever to accept Jesus, and unbeliever to walk in covenant. Another thing that reflects in all another couples of Bible verses is what I call incurable or terminal sicknesses. Incurable also terminal sicknesses like cancer, like AIDS, like diabetes, like hypertension, like what's it called, coronavirus, and so forth, Ebola. All those sicknesses are put together in about 8 verses here, which time will not permit me. Just because man deliberately not to obey God, and God too deliberately to strike them with sickness. So when you see some verses talk about death, for instance, I will read that one now before I go to another thing. The verses talk about death and say, beloved, carefully read. So I don't want to, because of my time. So in Deuteronomy chapter 28, what you need to do is obey God. Then let me come to number 3, price you need to pay. So I'm about to wrap up now in this. I will not take much time, because I've laid foundation in the second one. The first price is obedience. The second price is obedience. Then the third price is equally obedience. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22. And Samuel said, "And the Lord has great delight in burnt offering and sacrifice, as in obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken is than the fat of ram." Obedience. Obedience is number 3. Then what's number 4? Number 4 too is obedience. Number 4 also is obedience. I read Exodus chapter 23, verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey the voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto the enemy, an adversary to the adversary. What's the meaning of that? Obedience. What is number 4? Number 5? Number 5 also obedience. I read Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 4. Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. Obedience. 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 Then number 6. What's number 6? Number 6 also is obedience. Deuteronomy chapter 27, I read verse 10. Thou shalt therefore obey the voice of the Lord thy God to do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. What's it? Obedience. Well, the last one is also obedience. Joshua chapter 24, verse 24. And the people said unto Joshua, the Lord our God will serve, and his voice will we obey. The first obedience, 27th obedience, which means obedience is all we need. Let me have a break. I'll come back.